I thank you again, and TC, for the invitation to be a part of this program in terms of preparing for all of our financial futures. And one of the things that we often take advantage of, and we hope that we can bring some solutions today, is just our homes and the different things that or efficiencies that we can take advantage of, just saving on energy. And of course, that turns into dollars and cents. And with those dollars and cents, we hope that with some consideration to do that, you can take those monies and those other resources to do better things, potentially some other investment, or it's a number of things that I'm sure we all could come up with some ideas to do. But what I wanted to do is just take some time to highlight 25 things that we'd like to present that you all may be doing, may not be doing, but just bring them to your attention. First one, as you can see, is changing your light bulbs to LED bulbs. I think currently most of us, I don't know, a lot of people had just the basic incandescent bulbs. We've used those for years. By changing those to LED, you can save a significant amount of power. It certainly lasts longer. The upfront cost is a little bit more, but the longevity of the bulb itself and the energy savings pays off fairly well. Washing your clothes in cold water. I know a lot of times we kind of read the labels and we stick all of our whites in hot water. That's not always the best way to go about it. There may be some other options that you can take by just washing it in cold and still achieving the same result. Air sealing your home. Sometimes I know when I was a kid, I think my mother went overboard with it by taking the tape and just taping plastic over the windows. Now that I think about it, it's probably the most dangerous thing we could have did because she had the little kerosene heater with the pot on top of it. And I guess she thought she was being fancy by adding potpourri into the pot with the water. So I don't know if you all did that or do that today, but some of the measures that you can take is simply going around your home, filling for air, and sealing those gaps of air, air gaps to conserve on energy. Cleaning or replacing your air filters or all the filters in your home. We don't think about it much, but cleaning those filters will enable the system to work more efficient. There oftentimes you can buy different types of filters. Most of them, the lower end filters you change every 30 days. The higher end filters could go up to 90 days. And so we would ask you to consider making sure you change those. Using your microwave. A lot of people, don't like using the microwave to cook or warm food for various reasons, but the microwave is more efficient than the actual stove and or gas cooktop. Defrosting your refrigerator and or freezer. I don't know if any of us have taken time to do that. That's probably a good practice. We do it annually. If we take an assessment and think about when the last time we even talked to someone about doing it, I would almost venture to say never. During warmer months, close the blinds or the shades, as you can imagine. And then in the winter months, opening up those blinds. That is a small thing that we need to consider. Don't peek in the oven. I have a bad habit of doing that when, especially, I'm not sure why I peek in it to smell it, but quite often I do. And so take the time to use the oven light. Don't be the typical individual that don't read directions and understand how to use the equipment you got. Know what the oven light is. Turn that on and take a peek. Control your fixtures. There's smart equipment now that we could utilize that would enable us to control fixtures in our home. Turn off phantom power loads. Those would be things that we typically just leave plugged up. We don't think about it because it's not on, but it still drains power in doing so. Set your thermostats to a certain temperature. What what is recommended is I think it's 78 in the summer, 68 in the winter. I guess we all have different temperatures and things that we I guess, like. Some of us like cooler temperatures. Some of us like warmer. Um, but I would, certainly give that attention as well. Use your ceiling fan. Um, uh, I know a lot of people don't even take time to clean it, but using your ceiling fan in the summer times helps circulate that air. Fill your refrigerator. I know that we got issues with the supply chains today, and sometimes we're surviving, and we need to prioritize monies. But if you understand that by filling your refrigerator or your freezer with food, you don't really think about how much that could save, on money and being better prepared. So picking up some extra groceries for the refrigerator or freezer would help you save energy as well. Using your dishwasher and or washer and dryer at night. As you guys can imagine, we've all heard about the peak hours. We can complain to Casey whenever she gets up, but those hours are normally between 4 p.m. and 6. We would like to stay away from those times and use it in any other time other than between 4 and 6. Set your refrigerator temperature to a recommended setting. It doesn't do any good going beyond the manufacturer setting. I've seen people, turn the refrigerator up, excuse me, down to be cooler. It doesn't create any more efficiency, and or it doesn't do anything for the food as well. And so consider going back to the manufacturer's recommendation and setting that. Don't leave your bathroom or kitchen ventilation fan on. I don't know if you all have kids. I have 3, and certainly you could have to check behind them, because at the middle of the night you can wake up and the fan has been on from them doing what they do in the restroom. Um, let me see here. I think I might have missed one here. Turning off the heated dry. I think I had mentioned 16 on the washer and dryer. Let me see here. Let me get back here. Install a programmable thermostat. If you all don't have one, we talked a little bit earlier about the smart devices to be able to control things in the home. But by having a programmable thermostat, it would allow you to set the temperature the way you like to, you're comfortable in terms of your sleep, warm up the house once you wake up so that you're moving around. And then once you're out to work or doing other activities, you could, that same thermostat knows, what I mean, to cool or heat the home and put it at an appropriate temperature while you're gone, and then have it set back once you return. Turn off the lights. You would think that's a common thing, but many people don't pay it much attention. Or you can get a dimmer switch put on a light. Sometimes that's certainly able. You don't need a bright light for every activity. So dimmer switches can also be something that could help you save money as well. Don't leave your mobile phone plugged in. We all know, certainly have read about the potential of the phone or equipment heating up, but it is a good practice. It doesn't, I think they got the speed chargers now. It only takes about 40 minutes to an hour or so to fully charge a phone. That is also something that is not necessary to leave it on the charger all night. Turn off your oven. Most of us cook food, turn it off once we're finished cooking. One of the recommendations is, once you know your food is, I don't know, for 20 minutes, perhaps at 28 or 27, you can turn it off. The heat is not going to be less. It's going to retain the heat, provided we're looking through it and not opening up to look inside of it. We can save some energy there as well. And obviously saving that energy results into saving money. Watch for your appliance placement. Some of us, we can't do anything about that because the situations are the way they are. But whenever you have, there's something that's not permanent, such as your refrigerator, your stove, or your dishwasher, think before you put any kind of appliance near a thermostat that may not allow the thermostat to regulate the space. I've been in homes, and for whatever reason, they got a TV near a thermostat, coincidentally, just the way it's set. As a result, the TV is warmer. The thermostat is reading the air that is warmer when it's really cooler. And so sometimes we don't think about that, and that's something to consider. Dress for the weather. Uh, Sometimes you go to someone's home, and certainly in mine at times, it's cool outside and I'm half naked in the house, when I probably should have left that temperature at a much lower setting and just put on the appropriate clothes in the home, similar to the way you would do it outside. Shouldn't have to freeze in the home, but certainly consider that you could save a couple $100 a year just by dressing appropriate in your home. Lastly, it covers a many of illnesses, that we kind of all take advantage of, but get outside. When we consider getting outside, the home where we either exercise or work or doing a number of things there, that's just good for your own physical self to stay in shape. But getting out of the house with a thermostat and a number of other things that we can do in a much smaller way, by doing that, the house saves energy as well. And so, don't I would encourage you guys to get outside, do some activities, go to some commercial place. Matter of fact, go to Gethsemane and let them burn up the power, and so that you can save some at home. These are just 25 energy saving tips that you should consider. There's a lot more that we could bring forward, and I'm hoping that as KC comes forward, she can talk about some of the things that we could incorporate or be able to assist. Myself, again, with CDSI, and then another young lady on here, Monique, we would be some point of contacts when the time comes. And if you want to take advantage of the different programs that Dominion has imparted in the community. And we hope and look forward to assisting in any kind of way we can to better help you all save energy. Obviously, that turns into money, and that money we hope that will be used in your financial future. Uh, Ali, I think that's it, unless there's some other general questions.
We do have a question in the chat, Chris. We're not going to let you off the hook yet.
Okay. All right. Let me normally have Monique a little closer, and I'm at home this time. Let me figure out how to get in here. Okay, I'm here.
All right. The question is, does that include leaving the ceiling fan on? And this question came up right about when you were speaking about not leaving your phone plugged in overnight to save energy. So should they also leave the ceiling fan on overnight?
Yes. Yes. The ceiling fan being on is a movement of the air. And so that you don't have a stale place in the home, it allows it to circulate. I know it's kind of a oxymoron of sorts where, okay, I'm turning off everything else, but I'm leaving another fixture on, which is simply like leaving a light on. But it's not leaving a light on for a no purpose. It is to move the air such that the thermostat and everything is working properly. So yes, that should be done or can be done, just one of the options.
Awesome. And we did have another question that spurred from that one. Are we supposed to change the direction the blades are moving depending on the season? I've heard that one too. So is it fact or myth?
No, I'm not going to say it's a fact or a myth. What should be considered in homes that have a crawl space, you typically feed your ventilation from the floor. As a result of that, the heating and the cooling comes from the floor. So if it's in the summertime, you can imagine blowing cool air from the floor, which is heavier. You would need to reverse the fan to suck the cool air up and be able to better regulate the room. Where if you had a home that was on a slab, that is fed from the ceiling, at a minimum on the first floor. So as a result of that, you reverse it so that, understanding that heat rises, you're blowing the heat down. So it is not just a seasonal occurrence, it's also the type of construction of which the home is being fed far as the air. So if you got a home with and it's on a slab and your vents are in the roof, you understand heat rises, so you want to put it in a manner that is pushing it down. And if the cool air is there, it's going to fall anyway. And if you're on a crawl space and it's blowing up, you turn that fan in reverse in the summer months because it's pulling the cool air up. Where in the winter months, you really don't have to use it because the heat is going to rise itself.
That's great. Thank you, Chris. And thank you guys for asking questions too. And before then we move on to Casey, does anybody else have any questions for Chris? All right. Thank you, Chris. We really appreciate you sharing those tips with us to help put some more green back in our money. Oh, actually, I lied. Sorry, Chris. There's one more question just came in. They asked why fill the refrigerator again, which is tip 14.
Sure. When the refrigerator is full of food, the spacing, it takes less volume. So if I don't know, a 12 cubic refrigerator, and if you had to cool a empty refrigerator, you can imagine it takes more to cool something empty. With products, foods, whatever else in there, it's less space it has to move. And then once those foods are cool, they also emit, you know what I mean, the temperature itself. And so that enables it to be more efficient.
Thank you. And then Carolyn asks, when should you charge your appliances?
Charging an appliance such as a phone, I think, in case he can correct me whenever she comes on.
Change, I'm sorry. It doesn't say charge, it said change. When should you change your appliances?
Sure.
I apologize.
If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's and there's one that says a blue filter or a green filter, those, you know, and they're the most cost-effective filters, those need to be changed every 30 days. You can look at other filters that have other properties that take out certain things in the air. They can go up to 90 days. So once you look at the manufacturer's recommendation, it's always going to be somewhere between 30 and 90 days. And I would suggest everyone, if you don't have it already, maybe coming up with a small maintenance, I don't know, documentation where you can say, hey, I got my freezer, I don't know, I got my HVAC unit, I got this, and this, I got the filters, and then maybe either put a tickler on your calendar that may pop up on the computer in some way just to remind you. But you know, come up with a maintenance schedule that would help, you know, you and anybody else in the home when you're not there, make sure these things are properly done.
All right, thanks, Chris. And piggybacking off of filling your refrigerators to use the most of the volume, do you also apply that same methodology for a freezer?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And if nothing else, in these days and times, beyond just the energy portion of it, we can see food prices, right, has increased substantially in some areas. Had we bought those same foods, I don't know, 3 months ago, and it was in the freezer, we would have saved money just, you know, by the dollar cost averaging and understanding that. And so it's not just about energy, but some of the things we should probably buy today that's $1 that might be $1 and, I don't know, 6 cents in 3 months. I mean, we see it with gas all the time. So, but yes, it does apply to a freezer as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris, so much. And thank you guys so much for putting your questions in the chat. This is fabulous. And Wanda asked if we will email or share these tips with everybody. And you know we will, Wanda. So be on the outlook for that, guys, along with the recording after the event. But before we let Chris go, TC, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't. That was awesome, Chris.
Thank you.
As a fellow Norfolk State alum, I'm proud. You
Hey,
made us
man,
proud, sir.
I was gonna say behold, but it don't seem like I can hear everybody else say green and gold because it got to be more
Right.
Spartans on here. So no, thank you for the privilege of being a part of it.
Amen. Thank you.
All right, well, thanks so much, Chris. And we are going to transition to Ms. Casey Easley with Dominion Energy. So if you want to come on down, Casey, and we look forward to hearing your message.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you all so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I met Chris a few months ago and have been excited to further our relationship. And this is just one of the many ways that he and I are partnering together to bring much needed educational materials and resources to our communities. As Ali said, my name is Casey Easley and I'm with Dominion Energy. And tonight I'm here to just echo on what Chris was sharing about ways to weatherize and winterize and summarize your homes, if that's a word, to make sure that we are keeping our energy bills down, especially in these extreme times of financial needs for many of our people across the Commonwealth. So just making sure that we are making good decisions and keeping the money in our pockets. So thank you, and I'm so happy to be here. And we can go to the next slide, Ali. So Energy Share is a year-round bill assistance program that has been helping qualified customers with energy bill payments since 1982. Ironically, this is the 40th year of our program, and we're super excited to be here tonight to share with you about this program and offer up some of our services to your congregation, to your community. In recent years, we've increased funding and have expanded the program to include free home energy assessments and energy efficient upgrades for customers approved for this program. Upgrades funded by Energy Share provide sustainable energy bill savings through energy conservation. And so how does this program work? So this program works when you are in a lurch and all of the things that Chris has suggested to you don't seem to be working. And so you are seeking help and you want to know, what can I be doing better? Or what can I be doing differently? So that's why Dominion Energy has its Energy Share program. And so we click on this link if you go to our website. So it's dominionenergy.com. And so this program is helping communities, making sure that we are being energy efficient. And so there we go. So we have bill payment assistance am I able to scroll myself?
It's not, but I can stop sharing my screen if you'd like.
No worries. So we have bill payment assistance programs in case of a crisis. And so we have a heating season, which is October the 1st through May the 31st, and then a cooling season, June 1st through September the 30th. And so you are eligible for $600 for heating, and $300 for cooling. So a $900 yearly incentive or voucher that you could be eligible for while funds are available. And so weatherization of the home is another component of Energy Share. And so what Chris mentioned are things that you can do at home on your own. But if you are stuck and you're in a bit of a bind, you can give me a call. And what we will do is come in and we will do an audit of your home. And we will check to see if there are things in your home that can be made better at our expense. So this is all free to the customer. And so if you or a loved one are experiencing a hard time and are unable to make some of these necessary changes on your own financially, you can reach out to me, and Ali will provide my contact information towards the end, or Chris. And we can come and we can have one of our auditors come to your home. They do a full assessment. They come in, they take pictures, they test water temperatures, they test how much air is coming in and out of the cracks of your windows, the temperature of the air coming out of your HVAC. We replace light bulbs to LEDs and so forth and so on. Some of the things that Chris mentioned. And so we'll come in and we'll do an audit, and then our company partners with people like Chris in the neighborhoods to come in, and they will help provide these services for you. So you have a contact in your community that you know personally that's coming in to help with some of these repairs. And so This program is available, and we have funds available to help individuals in your community. So if you or a loved one think that you are in need of some of these services, we would love to come in and be of assistance to you to make sure that you are keeping your energy bills and costs as low as possible. So Chris mentioned some things that you also are able to do in your home. We also have other rebate programs. For example, if you have a smart meter, a smart thermostat in your home, some of them are called Nest, some of them Apple, whatever you have it, you're eligible for $30 rebate for some of those. And we have the link that Allie can send to the group so that you all can apply for that as well. If you all have old refrigerators or old appliances in your home, you can call Dominion Energy and we will come and pick those appliances up for you. And then we also give you a rebate on your new energy efficient appliances. So there's lots of things that we're doing to incentivize individuals to take advantage of some of these new technologies. And so one thing I wanted to touch on with this program is scamming or false Dominion Energy people coming to your door selling things. I will say that no one from Dominion Energy will come to your door and ask you to buy anything or to pay your electric bill immediately or your service will be cut off. No one will call you on the telephone to tell you that you have to pay right now over the phone and that your energy will be disconnected. So just want to make sure that people are aware that there are bad actors out there using Dominion Energy's name and to be aware of that. If you do sign up for services or request services that we are providing, please know that everybody will come to your home. They will have a Dominion Energy badge. So yes, I have a Dominion Energy shirt, but frankly, anybody could get a Dominion Energy shirt or anybody can come to your home with a Dominion Energy hat on. So please make sure that you are being vigilant and making sure that you are asking for ID. We all have a Dominion Energy badge and we carry that around with us because we can't get into any of our technology or buildings without that. And so we want to make sure that you all are aware of that should someone show up to your home. So that's kind of it in a nutshell for me. We have some links that I'll send to Allie that she can provide to this group so that we can come in and sorry, yes, I'm reading the chat and talking at the same time, so I apologize. So in rare instances related to the roof, and Allie, I don't know how you want to handle it, but I can take that question, or if you want to wait until the end. I'm sorry, they're popping up over here. I'm a millennial, so I'm thinking and typing and seeing all at the same time.
Oh, you go, Casey. You get them while they come in. There's one for you too, Chris. Don't worry.
So we are not in Georgia. I apologize. So, but as it relates to the roof, there are rare instances where we do have individuals who financially are unable to take on the burden of roof replacement or roof repair. That's a case-by-case scenario, and our auditors are the folks that will identify those needs. It's not something that this program is not so that you don't take care of your home. This is a last resort, a stopgap when you're in a financial crisis. We as a business are here to help you overcome some of those financial difficulties. Let's see.
Casey, is there a way that we can, because I recognize some of the names, so I know we have some folks from other states. When we shared a little about this, we shared that Dominion is in 15 states, but we didn't specify which. Is there a quick way they can find that, or if you know it, could you run it off?
Sure. So we operate utility in Connecticut, as well as Utah. We have some in Idaho and Wyoming. However, our main East Coast states where we provide this programming are North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and then we have a little bit in in West Virginia. But for the purposes of this program, I would say that our utility provides energy share in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. And the chat has disappeared on my end, Allie. So
Oh, well, I can help with that.
Yes.
So we have a question from Ashley. She is asking, what are the eligibility requirements for the weatherization assessment? And is this program separate from the federal grant offering window replacement?
So eligibility requirements for Energy Share are someone that's just in a financial crisis. There are no income eligibility requirements for this program. So it's not income based. So it's for any customer in a crisis is eligible to apply. And yes, this program is separate from the federal grant offering window replacement. So they're two separate programs.
Thank you, Casey.
Go ahead. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yvonne is asking, how does a senior qualify for the bill payment assistance? Where are the forms located or who to call?
Yvonne, our information is on our website at dominionenergy.com. If this is for someone who is not tech savvy, Allie will provide my contact information as well as our customer service number. You can call our 1-800 customer service number and ask for bill payment assistance through Energy Share, and you can be directed to someone who can assist you.
Thank you. And Cheryl asked, will Dominion Power come in and fix gaps that are in your front door and patio door?
So yes, so that's a part of our Energy Share program. We do caulking work, insulation, smart flow water fixtures to make the home more energy efficient. And so if you are interested in that, Cheryl, if you would just give your first and last name and your address to Allie and the team and Chris and the team over at your church, we are happy to take your information and reach out to you to begin the process for you to have an audit at your home.
And coming off of that, Carolyn's asking, how long does it take for somebody to come out?
That's a really good question. So a lot of that depends on you. If we are calling you and you're not home and we have to schedule in advance, it can take, a week or two. Our auditors are working every day and they're out and about. And so it usually can take about 5 to 10 business days for them to get out to you. And then we will put you in the queue to receive services after that. We try to move as quickly as possible, but we do have a lot of folks in need. And so we ask that you be patient with us. We will get to you, but it may not be immediately, but we will get to you. We have over 2 million customers that we service in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And so as you can imagine, there's a great financial need right now, and we have a lot of people in the pipeline, but we do have resources that we have to spend and want to spend and would like to help people. And so it may take a little bit, but we just ask for your patience and know that you are a priority to us.
That's great, Casey. Sorry, go ahead.
So you were denied. I see Lori stating that she was denied through social services. Lori, I'm happy if you want to put your telephone number into the chat and get that to Allie. I can speak with you offline about that on a one-on-one scenario if you're okay with that. We do work with the Department of Social Services, and so I'm not exactly sure which program you are referring to, but with this program, if we come out to your home and we don't see anything that needs to be addressed, then we would have let you know, but there is no approval or denial for the weatherization component of this. I'm not exactly sure if you're speaking about weatherization or bill assistance, but I'd be happy to dig into that with you offline. Where are we in the chat? Let's see. So weatherization. Okay, so weatherization is not based on your income. So if you have an older home or are just a new homeowner and are in need of assistance, you can request an audit through Chris or myself and Allie through the team here, and we can work with you all to participate in that. Ashley, you, I think a lot of the questions are, how do I request an audit? And so part of this program, we are tracked for this particular program tonight. We are asking that anybody that's interested, if they just connect with Allie and the team over at Gethsemane to give us your contact information and your address, and we'll collect the spreadsheet and we'll work with you that way to make sure that someone reaches out to you to get an audit. We are not in Georgia. I would suggest reaching out to Georgia Power, who does have a similar program. It's not as good as ours, but they do have a similar program. And so I would suggest reaching out to the customer service agent at Georgia Power if you are in Georgia.
All right, are there other questions, everyone? Don't be shy. We this forum is set up to make sure you you get your questions answered. All right, Casey, you've been awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us and making yourself so available for this. I think correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that for certainly within the Hampton Roads area, the correct course is to contact CDSI. Is that right? For those who want audits and need more information about this locally. Is that right, Chris and Casey?
Yes, so individuals can reach out to me directly through the contact information there, or if you are through the church, we can reach out directly to Chris through CDSI, and we'll just compile a list and we'll begin working through that list on my end with the team over at Dominion Energy.
Okay, and those who may be in other areas, like you mentioned South Carolina, North Carolina, you would want them to contact you directly, right?
Yes, if you're not in Virginia and you'd like assistance, we'll have to take a look at that. We don't cover every part of North Carolina or every part of South Carolina, but we can work to point you in the appropriate direction if it is not Dominion Energy.